Hollywood has fallen. I repeat, Hollywood has fallen.
Hello guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that little bell right there so that you can get notifications every time I upload a video. Okay? Enjoy.
What is up, guys? This is Andy Matrix, and today I'm going to talk about basically how Hollywood is basically just, it's never going to be the way it was again, and mainly because of the coronavirus. The coronavirus has basically exposed how we don't really need Hollywood and how we should have other opportunities spread out throughout the country instead of just one place, right? So let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm gonna put some headlines here around the video so that you guys can see. But Hollywood, because of the coronavirus, they lost about 120 billion, 160 billion dollars. They're gonna lose that much money because theaters are closed, movie theaters are closed, right? Movie theaters are closed, and nobody's going out to the movie theater, so they're not spending money at the movie theater, so they cannot generate any revenue. So the only movies that people are watching are on Netflix, so they're staying at home. So streaming services are actually doing really good. Hulu, HBO Max, which it launched a couple of months ago. Netflix, Crunchyroll, an increase in subscriptions. This is what people are going to be doing now, right? And as well as YouTube creators. Also, I think who was it? Anime Log, an anime company in Japan. They're gonna launch a YouTube channel with a whole bunch of I think like 3,000 anime titles, just all of them in there, just poof, all these anime titles on YouTube, just one big ass channel, which I'm guessing is gonna get about at least 10 million subscribers. This channel is gonna be freaking huge, right? Now, with the loss of Hollywood, with Hollywood going down the way it is, this is a good thing, because number one, it's shown us that, and I learned this from I recently saw this on Clownfish, that it's not a good idea to have so many people in one place. And by so many people, I'm not talking about just like the population of, let's say, Los Angeles or New York City. I'm talking about just one, like, for example, if you wanted to be an actor, you move to Hollywood. If you wanted to be an animator or voice actor, you move to Hollywood. If you wanted to be if you want to be in the music business, you move to Hollywood. I think New York, I'm not sure, but mainly California. Everything is in California. Google, Facebook, Apple, all of these major companies, they're all in Hollywood. The tech companies, all in Hollywood, only in Silicon Valley. And I keep saying Hollywood, but really it's California. And if you want to be a director, actor, anything related, makeup artist for movies, you have to go to Hollywood. You have to go to Los Angeles. You have to move there, and that is why it's so freaking expensive over there, because they say, oh, well, we have all the celebrities living here. Poof, let's jack up the rent, because people can afford it, people can make money, right? And everybody's paying like $4,000 in rent, $3,000 in rent, $2,000 in rent. I went to Los Angeles in 2017 twice, and I was disappointed. All the homelessness over there, and I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm just trying to prove a point here. So now what's going to happen is that we have seen, like, people don't want to be so controlled by this one major promoter, so to speak. So what's going to happen now, a lot of people, a lot of movie producers, a lot of content creators, they're going to move elsewhere. So they're not just going to film movies in freaking Hollywood, Los Angeles. All the movie theaters, they're not just going to be there. I mean, all the movie production companies, they're not just going to be stuck there, but they're going to take their studios and move them somewhere else in freaking, in Florida, Texas, Arizona, in other places. And I think this is good. This is good for employment, number one, because people, they're not going to have to go so freaking far to pay $3,000 rent, $3,000 rent, so that so they can work in the movie industry as a as a freaking backup character or an extra in a movie, getting paid $200 a day, right? That's what that's what I think. And yeah, so basically everything's going to be spread out now, because the way Hollywood is, how are they going to like get back get back up after this coronavirus? That's $160 million that they're losing. 160 million thanks to COVID-19. And COVID-19, it has revealed a lot about. It has revealed a lot, not only just in the political space, but also in the entertainment space, and also in the in the job market. A lot of companies that left New York, okay, because what's it? 450,000 people left New York due to the pandemic. And a lot of companies also left New York, and the companies that had people work from home, they saw that it was so much more convenient for people to work from home that they're saying, okay, there's no need for us to rent out this big ass office space. Let's just have people work from home, and then they'll meet up once a week in this office, just to check in, right? Just to check in. We'll meet up once a week at this office space, and that's it. Okay, that's it. So a lot of companies have realized due to the pandemic, we don't need all this. Why do we need to live? Why do we need to live in New York? Why do we need to have our office in New York, paying this much money? We can save so much money by having everybody work from home, right? Have everybody work from home, and then we can actually pay them more and actually save a lot of money. And yeah, so this is the way things are changing now. And by the way, you don't have to listen to me. Just go do a quick Google search about all the things that are happening in the job market with the pandemic, where jobs are moving now, what employers are doing now. What was it like? A whole bunch of many billionaires left New York. That's $360 billion worth just left New York. A lot of people are. Yeah, basically it's the same thing happening in California. I mean, Jesus Christ. So yeah, so a lot of employers, a lot of movie studios, they're just seeing, why do we have to be here? Let's take our movies somewhere else. Let's take our business somewhere else, and we don't all have to be bunched up in this one place. We don't all have to be bunched up in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. And this is going to create opportunities for a lot of content creators, individual creators, and because Hollywood really, the only thing Hollywood does is they just promote the movie. But now, I mean, people can promote the movie themselves, with a marketing budget of, let's say, $5 million, TV ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, and just put the marketing into so put money towards the marketing in these networks, right? And they don't need Hollywood. The only thing that Hollywood does is just promote the movie. Take a look at things such as like E3, the gaming conference. E3 is basically they promote video games. They kind of do like video game reveals, but Square Enix doesn't exactly need E3. They could just it's just a marketing device, kind of like just to build up hype, like, hey, look, we have a game coming up, But even now, Square Enix, they have their own conference, where all their fans kind of go online on YouTube, and Square Enix, they stream you know, they stream live and show, you know, what games are coming up or whatnot. So, and this is great. This is great. This is gonna help a lot of people because the middleman is being removed. Okay, the middleman is being removed. So what that means is, but let me give an example. Let me give an example. You see this? And it's backwards, right? It's, you know, it's Sin of Mages. If you can see, Sin of Mages. I'm a self-publisher. I write novels. I self-publish. 20 years ago, or I should say like 15 years ago, if I wanted to self-publish, it would have been hard as hell, right? If I wanted to get, you know, it was really hard to self-publish back then, but now you have Amazon Kindle, Barnes and Noble's Nook, the Kobo, Apple iBooks, and also if you wanted to get printed, printing is actually now very affordable. I can print these copies for like $4 a piece. So with $100, I'll have a whole bunch of copies, for like 20 copies maybe, right? So back in the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, and you know, before the internet, you needed a publishing house to get published. That is gone. I mean, they still exist, but more people are self-publishing than they are looking for, you know, publishing houses. And the same thing's gonna happen with movies. The same thing is gonna happen with, you know, with artists. Things like webtoons, artists on YouTube. People have their own websites. You know, web comics. You don't need the middleman anymore. We don't need them. Okay, you have all the tools that you need. You can start a website for less than $100, and I'll tell you how to do it right now. Go on Bluehost, install WordPress, get a domain. You know, go on Bluehost, buy a domain name, install WordPress. There you go. You have a website for less than $100, right? And what else was I gonna say? Yeah. And everything else, all the marketing stuff is really affordable. YouTube, for having a Facebook page, an email marketing system like Aweber for about $30, $50 a month. You can have a really affordable business as an artist, and you don't have to settle. You don't have to go to the middleman. You can bring the subscribers to you. You can use YouTube to bring in subscribers, like I am doing right now, and things are gonna change. So you know, the coronavirus, I mean, it was kind of bullcrap, but we needed it. We needed this to happen so that we can see what we are capable of doing ourselves without the middleman. So something really good came out of something fucking shitty called COVID-19. But hey, that's how life is. Something bad happens and then something good comes out of it. You know, whatever. So I went on a bit of a rant here. So I don't want to make this video too long, but this is Andy Matrix. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. And yeah, that is it. Goodbye, middleman.